24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio. Listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
My name's Tony Basilio. Welcome you to our Thursday edition. Fired up, focused, and prepared. With you, stacked, jacked, and packed. Very excited to be with you. Tennessee gets a chance back in the center ring this weekend to kind of work on some things as they get ready for their first SEC road game. We're live tomorrow at Calhoun's on the River. It's going to be exciting. I'll be out there from 1 till whenever. Russell Smith will come along from 3 till 6 Eastern time. So a couple opportunities for you to come out, see us, enjoy us, and do our thing. And we're very, very, very excited about that. So we've got a lot to discuss today, including the fact that college football now is trying to wrestle with what to do with their transfer portal, which we wrote about today over at tclub.team as part of our award-winning talking points, which appear each and every day. And if you go to our talking points today, you'll see that not only am I wishing you a happy UAB Thursday, but you'll notice that the one-time transfer window is now a reality. The question becomes now, when should the transfer portal window be? And by the way, we're wide open today. No guests. We've had a couple of guest-heavy days here last few days. Right, Bri? We wanted to kind of let the air out today. Right, Bri? Let it breathe, so to speak.
Let it breathe, man. Let it breathe. I got a bumper request.
So Bri bust a little TR imitation there. I'm pretty excited myself today because I'm finally going to go and get my back procedure that I should have had done like a month ago. But shout out to my man Earl Anderson. You know, it's like these days you got to lay around and writhe around in pain for like I don't know, 7 or 8 weeks till you can get the medical care that you should get. But hey, I'm extremely happy and thankful, and hopefully it works. But TGMD in the house, C in the house, TB and Brian Hartman in the house, and we've got a lot to discuss. We've got a lot to discuss. AC, from your perspective, this one window versus two, good thing, bad thing? What's your read on it?
Yeah, it seems like it's a good thing, Tony, just as far as limiting some of the craziness.
Yep.
I know that in talking to some people, it sounds like the SEC and Big Ten are pushing for this to be in January, when it sounds like it's going to be early January before school starts.
Right.
While the other leagues, including the ACC, the Big 12, and the Group of 5 teams, are pushing for it to be after spring practice. But usually we kind of know how this ends when the SEC and Big Ten want one thing and everybody else wants another.
Hey, Matt Dixon, what is your read on the one-time transfer window? And if I made you king, which I'm going to ask the callers today, where would you put it? Would you do it in the spring after you see what your needs are and let the fever? Because then if you did it in the spring, you'd have quarterbacks jumping. You'd have many people in the spot Tennessee's in. And if you did it in the spring, you would have I think you would borderline have quarterbacks what's the word? Not leveraging, but almost blackmailing their schools. Either you give me some money, give me all your love and all your hugs and kisses too, or I'm out of here. But Matt, where would you put it if I made you king? And how long would it be, guys? How long would it be, Matt?
The 2 or 3 week deal is plenty to me because all the tampering stuff goes on year round anyway. So,
it's tough, right?
It should be after the, pretty soon after your season.
See, I agree with that. I agree, Matt. Even the playoff teams. Yeah.
Like here, we can talk about like the quarterback thing and Nico specifically. Like, you're not a serious quarterback if you're leveraging money and leaving your team after spring practice. Like, that's not how a good program operates and good quarterback. Like, that doesn't work.
Right. It blew up in that kid's face.
You need to do it immediately after the season.
Matt, that's a really good point on Nico. My contention was that the entire apparatus and establishment around college football was cheering against Nico and cheering for Joey football. They've gotten the best possible result here, if you stop and think about it. They really have.
Well, if you had that a year earlier, Nico probably would still be at Tennessee and we wouldn't have Joey Aguilar, would we?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Nico would have forced the hand and walked out in December if he knew he didn't have a spring window. I think his camp disingenuously led Tennessee to believing that he was going to stay when, in fact, he was never going to stay. But we've got a lot to get into.
That's what you've got to clean up, the like nonstop, potential being a free agent in college sports. Like, that has to stop. And that's obviously what this stuff is the step towards doing.
Yes, you're exactly right. So we've got that to discuss, and I want to talk about it. C just said something really interesting there, which is that his information is that the SEC and Big Ten won it before the somewhere between the December signing period and then the February whatever's left signing period, but right there in the early winter. The problem with major college football is that it's professional sports, but it's not. Like, we were talking with Mark Ingram yesterday about it, who was pretty poison-pilled on the whole thing. And, I mean, who can blame him? What happens to them at their level, the way they get just picked apart like a carcass on the side of the road when they have players they identify that can play. But the problem with the whole thing is, if you were going to do it, if you were going to pick a perfect time to do it, it would be in early February. Once you figured out from your signing class what the swings and misses were, and for the have schools, but you can't do that because you're adhering to semesters. And like C said, the power schools want to get these kids on campus and get them acclimated right away. They don't want to get them in the summer. Now, if you look at it, Joey football and also the kid at Tulane have kind of proven that you can walk in off the street and play. And if you can walk in off the street and play quarterback, you can pretty much walk in off the street and play any position. And Watson Brown said that all summer, these coaches don't take the breaks they once did, so they're around. And all summer, you can get an offensive lineman. Say if they did move it to the spring, you could get an offensive lineman boned up and ready to go through the summer. See, do you think that? Don't you think that Joey football's kind of shown us this? Or no? Where are y'all on that? I mean, I'm just kind of looking at the deal going, okay.
Yeah, I think quarterbacks sort of have more at their disposal. I think they can learn quicker. The right guys can learn quicker than they could years ago.
865 800-200-5402. Where are you on that? Because it's really an interesting thing to look at. And then I also want to talk with you today about that they've made some changes. The stressor to their system, we're not going to see if the changes they've made to Neyland Stadium, because if you read the blog today, that about got very dangerous down there for some people. And your responsibility as a school, you should never have a situation like that on your campus. And I'm not Monday morning quarterbacking them. I don't pretend to know all the ins and outs and the where to goes and the what to do's. I do know, though, that when you have 100,000 people coming into your stadium and several entrances that you now restrict from the plebeians using, and the quote unquote premium ticket holders, and C went through a premium gate the other day, and I want him to walk us through that. But I do know that when you do that, you can blame the band all you want. But it seems to me that you almost were hoisted on your own petard if you're Danny White. Because you got to figure out a way to get people in your stadium. And bottlenecks and fencing outside, I'll read you an email I got today. I knew that putting up the stuff in the blog today would lead to other discussion from others. And so if you want to send me, your personal account of what you saw, some of you just got right in. Here's from Jeff in Knoxville. He said, Tony, I know you guys have mentioned, and I know you wrote about the crowd control issue in Neyland Stadium. I know you wrote about it today. Personally, I didn't have a problem getting into the stadium. My huge problem was exiting the stadium. I'm not sure how many people are aware, but those fences they use to put up to herd people into gates, they used to move those out of the way once the game started. When everyone left the UGA game, they were still there on Philip Fulmer Way and still in place and causing huge bottlenecks trying to leave the stadium. One set of fencing was set up so that you exited at a certain point. It forced you to walk south, even if you had to go the complete opposite direction. It blocked everyone from going any kind of direction. Because if you wanted to walk south to gate 21 toward the river, there's a 4-foot sidewalk there to walk on. And because they didn't remove the fencing, we were herded in there like cattle. Sounds like sheep herding to me. And I'm not a sheep herder. But they got to do better. And this whole thing about kissing the rear end, and look, if you're a premium seat holder, I'm not knocking you. I'm for you, not against you. For you. It's great. But I don't know how well they thought this out. And my take is the ETSU game did not stress it. Matt, the UAB game will not stress these new changes they've made as to whether or not they've gotten it right. That's not going to stress it, is it, Matt?
No, not at all. No. Especially post game, because I assume it's not going to be a last second game where everybody piles out at the same time either.
Arkansas game's not going to stress it, is it, Matt?
Could potentially, yeah.
I think the Oklahoma game's a real test. I think that's going to be in my mind.
Based on how bad it was, I mean, every game's a test from here on out until it's fixed.
That's a good point. I just wonder if they're robbing Peter to pay Paul too much, and if there's too much restriction, and if they need to revisit opening some of these gates. Because C's going to walk us inside on the other side, and I mean, he shared with me some things yesterday, Matt. It's going to make you shake your head. And some of the other ticket buyers that got caught in an hour and 15 minutes. crying out loud, as they say in the trade. But we'll come back. I'm going to have C share with us what he witnessed and saw and experienced going through one of Danny's gates, as I'll call them. And then we'll come back on the other side. And when we come back on the other side, I want to hear from you, and we'll talk that out. I also want to talk to you about the transfer window, the comments from Arkansas's athletic director that has them all tore up in Hog Nation. He simply told them the truth. Arkansas is a tradition-rich college football program that's now a runaround car. If SEC football was a race, they're a car that doesn't even have sponsorship, and it's got Bondo on the side and a bunch of like dents in the fenders and whatnot. Quarter panel smashed in. Looks like an old remnant from the Joey Chitwood days, as I date myself. Do they still have demolition derbies, Bri? You're into such things.
I have no idea. I guess somewhere somebody does.
Surprising. We continue with more after this.
Are you searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage.
Why limit great savings to just one weekend? This year, our Labor Day special lasts all month long. It's the September Smart Comfort event from Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. This month only, enjoy valuable home comfort upgrades at no extra cost when you install a new HVAC system or water heater to prepare your home for the colder months ahead. This September, you can get a free furnace upgrade with qualifying HVAC system installation or free sediment filter with water heater installation. Pipe Wrench is your partner for energy-efficient and cost-effective upgrades that keep your family comfortable and safe year-round. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. No rush, no stress, just smart seasonal savings for HVAC or water heater installations until the end of September. Call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Life never stops moving, and between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, a tire designed for doers, a tire that's going to last, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Peter to be back with you. So I'm talking to C last night, who had a chance to go to the Georgia game on a premium ticket, but he's not like a season ticket holder. But you know, a buddy of his couldn't go, last minute kind of thing. Bequeathed him a ticket. You're not going to turn that down, obviously. C, walk me through the experience, because you went through a gate that a couple years ago you remembered being public, and it's now one of these private gates. And there was a big bottleneck over the weekend. I'm not trying to start anything here. I'm just calling it like it is. See, share with us your experience.
Yeah. Okay. So I walked in. I'm sorry, I don't know the exact time. It was maybe an hour before the game. About when it seemed like it was starting to get bad. I walked through the security checkpoint over there by G10, Thompson Bowling, and it was definitely very congested, but not to the point where I felt like I was, stuck in there or anything. And I walked over there on the ticket, it said what gate I'm entering. I guess it was gate 17. And they've got a big flag above it, premium entrance, and it's like roped off. So I walk up there right up to the gate, film my ticket. No, there's zero line. Like, there was a lot of congestion out on, I guess, down Peyton Manning Pass and all that. It's right down in front of Peyton Manning Pass. And I walk right up to the gate, and I would say there's probably 6 or 8 ushers. And my buddy would stop by a tailgate. So he wasn't going in with me. And so it was just me by myself. And there was no one in front of me, no one behind me. It took maybe 90 seconds to get, they put a lanyard around your neck, and they give you your, a little wristband and all this stuff. And they have this, they have the long hallway there, the stairs and everything. Like I said, it's made as a regular gate. Like, when that was built, when Nealon did the renovations there on the west side, it leads right into the regular concourse. But, you go through, and there's probably 8 ushers. It was about an 8-to-1 ratio usher to people, because, in the 2 minutes it took me to get from the gate to inside the stadium, I was the only person using that gate. No exaggeration. It was like a some type of. It was really odd. I've been going to games since I was a kid and going to the regular gates, and it's always you always have a lot of people there, and I've gotten used to it, and it never seemed to be a problem in the regular gates when I was a kid or whatever going to the game. But so I walked through there, and they don't really tell you where to go because, like I said, I'm not a season ticket holder there. But I have sat down there in the past, I guess, before they had this premium entrance thing, and it spits you out there right in the concourse on the west side, like with everybody else. Like you walk down the stairs and through the premium entrance, so to speak, and it just spits you right out there, at the concession stand in the concourse with everybody else. So it's not like if you go to other stadiums, I'm sure some other listeners and people have gone in, pro stadiums or other college stadiums. A lot of times the premium entrance does make a little bit of sense because when you go through the gates, when you enter the stadium, you're entering like a club area or you're entering a whatever it is. Like if you go to a Braves game or a Preds game, whatever, a lot of times when you get through there, you're in the club. So it makes sense to have a separate entrance for people who have the club tickets because when you enter the stadium, you're already in there, the area with all the, the food and all that stuff. But here it didn't make a lot of sense to me because you go through this, thing with all these staffers who are making sure that nobody can get through except the premium people. And then you get out of there, you get spit out through the hallway there, and you're just there with everybody else who have been waiting in these other gates. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It spits you out just like it's a regular gate. There's no difference.
Like a total scheme. Like a scheme. I mean, what are we doing? And
I didn't understand it at all.
Listen, I'm not trying to start anything here, but that's what the hubbub's all about. I mean, okay, so I got my own little wanding experience, and I got my private 8-on-1 experience, 8 employees to 1. They shake your hand, they put the lanyard on you. But then if they're just going to spit you right out among the general population, what are we doing, Danny? Why were we doing this? Matt, why are they doing that, Matt? Explain that to me. Rather than just having it free flow like it always was, and we had to reinvent the wheel. Why are we doing that, Matt? Explain it to me. You're just going to drop you off right in the middle of everybody else.
I'm not sure. The only thing I can think of is it's so that the premium seat holders don't have to wait in a line to get into the stadium. But it obviously seems like they've overdone it and given them way too many, premium gates to enter while taking away the regular gates. I don't know. The whole thing doesn't make sense.
No.
It seems like they created a problem that they didn't really have initially by kind of doing a lot of this stuff with the gates, and then the way that they changed the band stuff. Like,
why?
I mean, it's already crowded on most game days anyway.
Yeah, and
for some reason they made it a lot worse by kind of channeling everybody into the middle. It's like a no middle defense that Danny White played.
Well, greed breeds destruction.
No doubt.
Sounds like.
So C says, here's what C, and I'm going to put words in his mouth, but he said, got a premium seat. I'm thinking to myself, because, your expectation is I go through the premium gate, it's walled off. Like Georgie Boy Plaster got us, our family, tickets for a soccer game this summer when the my Philadelphia Union, who lost to Nashville the other night, by the way, down in Nashville. But my Philadelphia Union were playing in Nashville. We went through the private gate like C is talking about. They put the lanyard on you like C is talking about, but you were walled off. You were never a part of the which I'm not a big fan of, but you were never a part of the stadium experience. This thing here, it's in name only. I mean, they put the lanyard around your neck so you can go find where you're going to walk up. But they could do that, letting other people in and have a little line for the other folks.
They could do it in the section itself, because I guess it's called the Lower West Club. You have to walk to the usher up there and say, "Hey, my seats are here in the Lower West Club."
Lanyard.
Why can't they have somebody put the lanyard on you there?
But they have to be. And this is Danny White now. This guy is a big pomp and circumstance guy, and he created a problem. But they're going to blame the band. See, what we do on here is I keep it raw. What are you doing? Danny, this is the way we've done it for 100 years, man. It didn't need fixing. It didn't need your brilliance. It didn't. And people almost got hurt Saturday. They can get mad at me all they want. Blame the band all they want. You can blame you can't restrict gates, man. I mean, what are we doing? And especially if C's telling me the truth, which I believe he is, that the premium gates just come out right where all the commoners come out. I mean, what are we doing? What are we, Matt, what are you to gain from that? Explain to me what you're to gain from that, besides making these people feel like they got an extra added value. But what's the added value? There never was a problem getting into the stadium before.
No, the only benefit for those premium ticket holders is they don't have to, in theory, wait in a line to enter the stadium. Because I remember I sat in that West Club once.
Yep.
For like the Akron game in 22.
Yep.
So I think that was the first year of it. And I remember you walk in from the premium gate and you're in just the lower concourse with everybody else. So it's like C said, that was kind of odd, but you didn't have to wait in the line because there's, so few premium seats, tickets that they don't all show up at the same time anyway. So there's just you don't have to wait to enter the stadium. It's the only benefit to that.
But Matt, and I'm just thinking aloud to games I've experienced over there. What's the longest you could wait in a line there? 15 minutes? If every gate is open, the way that thing is designed. 15,
you move
20
pretty
minutes,
quickly through the gates.
You move quickly through the gates. What are we doing?
Unless you're getting there before it opens and there's a long line, of course you're going to wait there. But once it's open.
These people are so hell-bent on squeezing every nickel out of the fan base that they've created an issue for themselves. That's what they've done. I'll call it what it is. And you know what? If I'm the only one in town calling it what it is, when I hear C describe that, you are trying to fix something that didn't need fixing. You think those people that give that money care that they have their own private gate to go to? Versus, let's bottleneck these other gates and create danger. Because I would say they would rather say, come through this gate rather than you be in danger over here, which is what we had the other day. No offense. I didn't do it. And they're trying to get their hands around this. My contention, I hope I'm wrong, is as long as you're bottlenecking people, you're going to have issues with these big games. Because on a beautiful fall Saturday, we are going to congregate. And we are going to tailgate right to the last minute. Because that's what we do. That's a major part of this thing. And so many people are going to converge on the stadium at one time. And you better be able to handle that. Anything else, guys, before we go to the phones? Because that in essence, that's what we're talking about here. Nothing's changed but what they've changed. Like Matt said, they're the ones that made the changes. I didn't make the changes. He didn't make the changes. C didn't make the changes. They're the ones that have made the change. And people have noticed that a lot of the exit entrances they could use are now restricted. I didn't do it, man. Anything else you guys care to add before we go to the phones? Second question. On the transfer window, Matt, are guys allowed to enter the portal when? I need some procedural. Let's talk this out for a second here. Can like Nico? Could Nico go into the portal right now because his coach left? See, I know he doesn't have a red shirt year. I know people are going to tell me he's not going to do it. Okay, fine, I understand that, but he might do it anyway. Okay, but like somebody at Virginia Tech, can they enter the portal right now? See, when's the portal open?
Within 30 days of your coach being fired.
Okay,
you are allowed to enter the portal.
For the rest of the general population, when does the portal open in football?
We don't know, but it sounds like it's going to be January 2nd through the 11th is what the SEC and Big Ten want. It's going to be a 10-day period. They did approve that, but they haven't decided what 10 days because, like I was saying, the other 4 leagues or the other 2 power leagues and then the group of 5 want it to be in the spring because it'll allow them to not have to worry about this raid happening during all the bowl games when the Big Ten and SEC are just going to be are going to be going hard, while these kids are at home. If they do it in the spring after spring practice, it gives them more time to figure out how much money they need. It gives them more time to acclimate them into their program, get them to go through spring practice, all that stuff. So they're thinking that if they can get it moved to the spring, it'll be less likely that the SEC and Big Ten can totally raid other rosters. But it doesn't sound like they're going to win out. It sounds like the SEC and Big Ten are going to get the January portal.
But wait a second. If you have the January portal, hang on one sec, Brian. I just want to make sure I'm on the same page here with everybody. Okay, let's say it is January 2nd to 11. When does the portal open? When can I enter the portal?
January 2nd is when you can go in.
What? That's total anarchy.
You can stay in the portal as long as you want. That's the thing.
You have to have it between semesters.
Wait a second.
And you could actually, when the season was over by January 8th or 9th, you could have a 2-week window where the semester hasn't started back up yet, and you could have a portal then. But now with the season dragging out through the end of January, it's tough to do it. It would make sense to do it after the last game's been played.
So you
have not penalize teams that play to the last game.
You have to get in the portal between January 2nd and January 11th. That's it?
Yes, you have to get in that. That's what's passed, which is what the SEC and Big Ten want. They want these kids to have to. If you're not in between those dates, if you don't enter between those dates, you can't enter unless your coach is fired.
Okay, so and then I can exit the portal at any time.
That's right.
Which really would help a Tennessee who's got this micro semester, whatever they call that thing, that mini term deal.
Mini term, yeah.
And help me out, guys. Our semester doesn't begin till when? Second semester. What they call the spring semester. I'm sorry.
It's usually like late January, isn't it? Like 20th.
Yeah.
So the Vols
would have 20.
So the Vols would have
sometime January 20th.
The Vols would have 3 weeks. If you're a school, if you go 2nd to 11th, and you're a school that starts back like on the 15th, how in the hell do you navigate that? Matt, that does not sound like enough time, does it?
I mean, that's what they've been doing now anyway. And, we talked about it, I think it was this year, that Tennessee starts a lot later than just about every school. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a benefit for Tennessee to be able to add, players to your enrollment, through really almost until February if you need to, and you can kind of get things expedited along behind the scenes. So I that's the one that it makes the most sense to do it, in between semesters, right after the season for football. That it makes the most sense, and it helps players get acclimated to their new team in the spring, which in theory should help them, become better players, and it really helps all teams get better.
To our phones we go. And then I wonder who's the first player that's going to challenge the no portal in the spring, and what are the courts going to say? Because like we were talking with Mark Ingram yesterday, until you do what you're going to do with these guys one way or the other, these athletes, and unionize them and give them rights and all that stuff and have a collective bargaining deal, we're going to have chaos. To the phones we go. The spring portal, in all fairness, has generally been a nothing burger for the most part. This year, Nico provided some fireworks. There were a couple other quarterbacks that jumped in, right, in the spring portal. Help me out here, guys. Angeli, there was one other one. But for
Joey.
Who was it?
Joey Aguilar, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Aguilar and Angeli, yeah, right. And then there was the kid from BYU that got kicked out of school. That was extraordinary.
That was weird.
That was weird.
That was weird. I don't know if he actually entered the portal or if he just withdrew from school and was like a walk on at Tulane. Like that one's kind of weird. Yeah. Like Joe Milton was a spring portal quarterback because they went and got him. Remember he publicly committed the day of the spring game.
That's right. Because he had to
graduate. Like he had to get a degree from Michigan back when we were still playing school with all this.
Playing school. When's the last time you heard, Matt, of a guy getting in academic trouble? Speaking of playing school.
What did you asked the AD at UAB that yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, the answer is, are you ready? You don't hear of it. Here, there, or anywhere. It doesn't exist. It does not exist. To the phones we go. Hi, welcome in. You're on our Thursday edition.
Hey, guys, it's Holly.
Hey, Holly, welcome in.
Well, I've got a comment on the snafu at the stadium. I wasn't at the game, so full disclosure there, but I do read a lot about what's going on, and I had tons of friends that were there, and I kind of asked them where they were sitting at the game and what they experienced, and pretty much everybody that was on the east side, it was a nightmare like what you said. The others just said it was really crowded, and it was terrible getting out, but sort of expected when, you know, we had a game that ended in the last second.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
All that. But I want to go back to the ball, you know, the security changes is what keeps being said about all these changes this year. So that's been going on for months. I remember the first time I read anything about it was I got a notice that the band's route was changed, quote, for security reasons. Now, as far as I know, they've never said what those security reasons were. It was just quote, security reasons. And I remember when I got that, I guess it was in August, I thought, what do they need to do? And why do they need to change the band's route that's been there forever for security reasons? But, you know, I kind of ignored it because I thought, oh, well, I'm an old ball and I generally don't want anything to ever change ever up there. And so I was kind of sad about it, but thought, well, maybe there's a lot of stuff going on that I don't know, obviously. But now with everything that has happened and been reported and all, I believe that the main reason for the change is not really security, but to accommodate the premium ticket.
No question.
And I'm like you, Tony. I have no problem with people being able to afford boxes and special tickets and the food area and all the cool things that happen now. I mean, I get it. That's a great perk and go for it. But I don't understand why this gate issue and the flow of traffic, which is so critical to safety and security, is part of that perk. You know, we have an old stadium there. I mean, I was thinking about my daddy lived in that stadium when he was in college in the 50s. So we have a beautiful stadium. It's in all, but it's still an old stadium and it has an old footprint and we're landlocked and all of those things that are issues, you know, for campus. So I'm thinking at some point, we don't have the operational fortitude or physical capacity to offer every perk that Danny White or his team sees being done at all these new stadiums, at the NFL, because you know that's what they're looking at, are all these super premium perks, these beautiful new stadiums. And, you know, it's like, to me, it's like a nightmare marketing ploy that's gone bad. I was thinking if I had the money, let's say I had a box on the east side, I can't believe that I would really care that much, especially now, to think I have a gate to go through. Well, heck, you can't even get to the gate to get to your special gate if everything's all jammed up because the flow of traffic and the security measures are not proper. So how does that become a perk if I've got a seat up there? I don't get it. What scares me, and it really scares me, is that this is a terrible, terrible potential safety problem. I think Danny White was so lucky that he didn't have any reported injuries. And, you know, then you think about what you hear a lot of times in Europe, you know, there's these surges and all. And when those happen, there's a surge and then people fall on top of each other and then people get scared and then they start running and then there's broken bones and even death. And, you know, if one ball gets hurt during a stampede or whatever you want to call it in one of these things, there's going to be heck to pay. And, you know, all in the name of, quote, security. And I don't believe that's security. I think it's a perk thing. And if he thinks he's got problems making money now to pay for NIL and all the millions of things that we need money for, he has no idea what's going to hit him if he has an incident where we have people injured, maimed, or possibly killed. The lawsuit, oh my gosh, will be catastrophic, not to mention, the blemish it'll have on the University of Tennessee. I mean, I cannot believe that our fellow citizens may be being put in danger for perks. I think the line's been drawn. What do you guys think?
Well, I think it's an interesting thought, because C's point was, and he told me this last night. He said, I heard you guys talking, and he said, I could not believe that. Because, see, you said that gate is like all dressed up now. Like, it's like really sort of opulent looking, right? But then it dropped you off in the same area with everybody else. That was kind of when you were going, like, what are we doing here? If you could elaborate on that.
That's laughable.
Well,
we get to go through a pretty gate, and then we're
yeah.
right back where we all are.
Elaborate on that, C.
Yeah, it's like roped off, and they have obviously like a big kind of banner above it that says premium seating, and like I said, they have a lot more ushers than what, like, they have, like I said, the people who are checking your ticket, then they have the people who are giving you your lanyard and the wristbands, and they're all kind of being really nice to you, which obviously I understand. They're trying to treat the premium customers well, but it was a little overboard, I thought, just because there were so few people going through it that it just seemed like it wasn't a very good use of the stadium, because it's right there in the middle, like, you're at the 50-yard line right there at the center of the west side. And like I said, it took me about maybe 90 seconds, 2 minutes to get from the entrance of that gate down to the concourse. And I was the only person. This is about an hour, I'd say, before the game. I was the only person that entered that gate for 2 minutes.
Doesn't make any sense, Holly. It just doesn't make any sense.
Are we going to do a red carpet now? Is that the next thing we're going to do? Are we going to have a red carpet entrance for those that want to give more money? And so we'll have a red carpet, and we can have the paparazzi there, and we can have the velvet, not the fences, but the velvet roped off area. So it can be, look at me. I'm going up because I gave whatever and I've got a seat. I just don't believe that people are that, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't believe that people are that obnoxious.
No.
To have all that. I would like to think that my friends and my fellow Vols that are fortunate enough and want to give money to have those great perks couldn't care less about that.
I agree with
that.
They
just want to get in. And then, I mean, the few times that I've ever sat in a box, and boy, it is nice.
It's very nice.
And all. But the thing I remember, one time I was at Auburn and got to go and sit in a box, and it was so packed going in, and they had a special elevator to go up, and we were with everybody. And then once we got up into our box, that's when the perks happened with the food and the drinks and all that stuff. And I just find it hard to believe that most people really care. They just want to get into the game and get up to their perk seat so they can enjoy their perks and sit there and watch the pageantry and the pre-practice and all that. I think this has gone too far, and it's ridiculous. And I love Danny White. I love the Vols, but man, oh man, stop hiding behind security, because nobody has said, and I'd love for someone to come on and say, okay, this is why we did this for security. I'd be the first to stand aside and say, okay, because I don't want anybody to get hurt ever, anywhere.
Ever. Thank you, Holly. And and the whole thing with the band route and all that and the security, I have no idea what we're shooting for. But I want everybody to be 100% secure, and safety's got to come first. And I wonder if they bit off more than they can chew with restricting with these premium gates. And it's not my dime, my dance floor. But what he describes, which is that thing looks like a premium gate, but it's really not, because it's going to drop me off with the plebeians anyway. I'm not even getting like the walled off experience. I still have to walk among, and I believe, this is me, I believe that most people that would use that gate would welcome others to go through that gate so that we're all safe. That's me. That's what I believe. I believe most people would say, you know what? If it makes the flow of this thing work,
well,
let's open all these gates up. We don't need this. This is not necessary.
Before, you've got people who sit on the 50-yard line in the lower level and people who maybe sit at the top of the stadium in the south end zone going through potentially the same gate.
Yep.
Those who are sitting on the 50-yard line, 30 rows up in the lower level, don't give a about whether someone who is sitting in the top row is going through their same gate. I wouldn't think.
I think that's the beauty of sport, Bri. I 100% agree. Why they've arrived at the concept of we're going to give these people their own gate, maybe there's so little that they're giving these people that they have to make it look like that. For instance, see, you just tell me, the food there is free, right? For the people in the where you were in the club. Were you in the club? See, what do they call these seats where you were? Earth to sea. Do they give you seats? Do they give you food? Do they give you drink? Talk to me here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
When you're in like the skyboxes, it's all free, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, this new Lower West Club, I'd sat in it once before, but I don't know if I had just forgotten. But yeah, the only thing free that I got down there was they did have some coolers at the end there that you could pick up some brown cows for free. But if you wanted to get water or drinks or their meals or whatever they have down there, it's the same price you pay the rest of the stadium.
What?
Yeah, I was a little surprised. I mean, obviously I didn't pay for it anyway, so I'm not complaining, but I was a little surprised based on how it's presented that everything's full price down there, to be honest. It was a little surprising.
Back to the phones we go. TLD Logistics phone lines. Hi, welcome in.
Hey, Tony, this is Kevin in Muletown. How we doing,
Kevin?
brother?
Good to talk to you.
Man, what a kick in the plum Saturday. I wanted to call into your reaction show, but I just didn't have words. But by the way, that reaction show is outstanding. Win or lose, those 4 hours or whatever after the game, that's must listen to. I appreciate you doing that every Saturday.
That was a hard one to do Saturday, man. That was a hard one to do Saturday, my brother.
You know what? It had to be talked out. We had to talk it out. So it was, and great points by Holly. But by the way, January the 12th is the spring semester start. My daughter goes to school up there, so let you know, January 12th. It's not the 20th or
really?
The 12th.
I thought we had a mini term in there.
Well, it might have a mini term, but according to the schedule here, it starts on Monday the 12th.
That's interesting.
No, I think the mini term is between the spring and summer semester. I think that's like in May.
I thought they did a winter term, Bri, a winter mini term, because last year it was like the 28th. Maybe they did away with that. That's interesting.
It was later last year.
Well, that's interesting.
It was in the 20th. But,
so we're not as advantaged now. So you're saying January 12th, and see the window they're talking about right now is the 2nd to the 11th, I think is what I had on the blog today. 2nd to the 11th is the window the Big 10 and SEC wants. Interesting.
I'll say,
Thank you, Kevin.
Hey, real quick, I don't mean to change the subject, but I really appreciate.
Go for it.
I appreciate the recruiting that Heupel has done. I mean, we've upgraded talent.
Yep.
We've really done good in the portal. We're hitting our portal guys.
Yep.
But it just seems to me that we don't value the safety position, and we don't put the money in, or we don't recruit these major, high quality players at safety. And you could see that Saturday that we could have used. We're not going to find an Eric Berry, but we could use a Deion Grant back there. But
always use Deion Grant. But what about the kid they let go to Miami? who's been playing really well for
Jacoby
Miami.
Thomas, I mean,
he's been playing really well. Hey, Matt, why do you think they didn't pay Jacoby Thomas? That's a very interesting little piece there. I wonder if they were just out of funds and you have to pick your spots. What do you think, Matt?
I guess that, and interestingly, I think he was a post-spring portal guy. Like he left after spring, and it kind of surprised everybody just for a little bit of a pay bump. But no, it's a good point. I mentioned it in my thing on Tuesday.
Yep.
You know, you say you don't need Eric Berry back there, but Eric Berry's the last safety we've had drafted into the NFL, and that's
wow.
I mean, it's not even just a high draft pick, but just drafted. Period. We haven't had a safety drafted since Eric Berry. It's really kind of alarming. And that again, that was the biggest difference between the teams.
Yeah,
I thought was just the secondary play.
Yeah, Tank McCullough was a free agent. Yes,
he's playing great.
Yeah, he is. And you never would have convinced me of that because another thing with McCullough, and I don't know whether it was scheme or what, but when he was here, he looked like he was running in quicksand.
Well, you would think Tim Banks, who coaches safeties, we would, make that a priority. But that's all I got, brother. Appreciate it.
The thing about Tim Banks, though, which is interesting when you talk to people around the deal, is he's not a recruiter. So he coaches safeties. He's not a recruiter. He kind of gets I don't want to say leftovers, Matt. I don't like how that sounds. But to your point, when you haven't had one drafted in forever, that's been a reoccurring theme here. What year was Eric Berry drafted in the NFL, guys? Like 2008, 2009?
2010. 2010.
God, man, it's 15 years.
I mean, you've had some pretty decent ones, like above average.
Yeah.
Jansen Jackson was talented. I think Brian Randolph was a pretty good college player. Prentice Wagner was pretty decent for what he was, but we're talking about like an actual future NFL guy. We just haven't had that.
And it's weird. You and I
it goes long before Tim Banks got here. It's not just on him.
Yeah, you and I commented in the spring to each other when they let Jacoby Thomas walk. It was very curious. It was like, okay, we don't like this guy. I mean, he can play. And correct me if I'm wrong, he was a portal guy, right? He was a hit out of the portal. Did he come from the portal?
Yeah, from MTSU.
That's what I thought.
He's an in-state kid. That's why it was kind of weird they let him go for a very minor pay raise. You would have – I assumed if Tennessee really wanted to keep him, they would have found a way to pay him.
Which the odd thing is with that deal is – Muletown's right. That's a neat area. And by the way, he flashed last year. He's the guy that we were all talking about being a hit. It's extremely strange. And, that safety position, it's kind of like in baseball, that old saying, when you're strong in the middle. Like to me in football, if I've got great middle linebacker play, I've got great defensive tackle play, and I'm okay at the safeties or pretty damn good at the safeties. Like, they were pretty good at safety last year with him. I got a good defense. In baseball, when I got a good catcher, my shortstop can play, my center fielder can play, I'm pretty good on defense. I'm a believer in being strong in the middle. Take a brief timeout. We come back with more. It's hour number 2. All lines are jammed. It's TGMD, Brian Hartman, and C, along with TB on a Thursday. These are patented, and we basically are going wall-to-wall phones today. More after this.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted grade A grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the volunteer state by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. Basilio here. No one does it like Alumni Hall. I'm here to tell you, Living Hall fan, only one place. That's the best place to shop for Tennessee gear, and that's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands like Nike and Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. Load up on hats, accessories, Yeti, all your tailgating necessities. Download the Alumni Hall app, click account, and it'll tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, with physical locations in Murfreesboro, Bristol, and 3 locations in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City. Pop into Alumni Hall and get ready and tell them Tony B sent you.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. Oh, what? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and Zizi.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Taking you up to the playbook with William Patterson, which is a way of life. Tony Basilio, alive and well with you. We're going to go back to our TLD Logistics phone lines here momentarily. One huge story that you can watch for. I'm hearing by the end of September, they want to drop the new schedule. I hear it's pretty much done. I think Tennessee fans are going to like the 3 permanent opponents. See, you and I were talking about this yesterday. It almost doesn't matter who your 3 permanent opponents are, because any combination of teams in this league going forward, you're going to have a nasty schedule when they add that extra game. Formidable, nasty.
Yeah, and kind of looking at what we've heard, it seems like you're going to have 5 difficult games every year. Even if you get a favorable permanent draw, you're going to have most years. It seems like 5 losable games out of the 9, and 4 games maybe you should win on paper most years. And so, I mean, like, I don't know how much of an advantage it is, like you're saying. Like, if you just think about who you could possibly play in a year, like even if you get Alabama and then 2 easier permanent opponents, it's still possible you could say get, Texas, Texas A&M, LSU, and Auburn all in one season as rotating opponents. And then the next year, that would mean you're going to get Florida, Georgia, Ole Miss, and who am I missing? Oklahoma.
State. Oklahoma. Yeah.
As your 4 plus Alabama every year. So I think you're going to have 5 losable games most years in SEC play. And then some years you're going to have now the other difficult thing about this is you're going to have some years every 4 years where you have to play like both Alabama and Georgia on the road, or maybe Alabama, Georgia, and Oklahoma all on the road the same year. So you're going to have some really difficult schedules with this 9-game schedule, even with the what seems like it's going to be a favorable draw with the 3 permanents that Tennessee's likely to get.
Hey, Matt, will the rest of the league freak out when they see that it's going to be Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Tennessee's 3 will be Vanderbilt, Alabama, and it sounds like right now, of course, all this stuff's subject to change. I remember during COVID, there were all these schedules kicked around and these guys fought and argued behind the scenes, but it looks like right now it's going to be Kentucky. I'm not reporting that, but it looks like it's going to be Kentucky. Matt, if that ends up being the case, we got to give Danny White a lot of credit for that, whether he deserves the credit or not. We were on here saying you got to fight for that historical rivalry, and they ought to keep it intact. And I'm not sure how much, and I know this is easy for me to say as a Tennessee fan, I'm not sure how much of an advantage it is, Matt, because the schedules are nasty anyway. I mean, the sneak peek or the sense that what I'm hearing that the rest of the schedule could be next year is like ridiculously hard. So what do you think?
we're talking about 3 of your 9, and really specifically, we're talking about one game out of 9 in particular. So, over like a decade span, it might be worth a win, but it's really not a huge difference. Whether it's it's South Carolina, Florida, Kentucky, whoever. There's really not a huge difference over like a long run. So, but it would be a help for Tennessee, and it's what should happen. I mean, Tennessee is both Kentucky and Vanderbilt's biggest rival in this league, and there's no way around that. And we can talk about the Arkansas and all these schools that quote unquote don't matter that run around the track. The league should at least give every school at least one of their like real true rivals. Let them kind of handpick who they want. And for Vanderbilt and Kentucky, that would obviously be Tennessee.
Back to the phones we go. It's really well put. And let's get our next call in. So if you're a Wildcat fan and you're listening, I guess a pretty good chance that series continues based on our information. I hope it comes to fruition. Again, these schools, all this stuff is subject to change because they get behind closed doors and they fight like crazy, as we know. Let's go back to our TLD Logistics phone lines. It's hour 2 on the Tony Basilio Show. We're live tomorrow down at Calhoun's on the River. I'll be down there. Russell Smith will be down there from 3 to 6. It's going to be incredible tomorrow. It's going to be insane. Ringing in the UAB weekend. Let's go! Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Basilio, Bobby, getting the band back together down at Calhoun.
There we go.
I love it. Can I give you a little on the scene from Saturday and what it was like to watch it? Our tailgate is right outside the premium gates. Okay. Hilarious. No people in line. Steve is exactly right. 0 people in that line at all. One of the ironies of it is those people couldn't even get to it because it was such a cluster, right? I saw 3 medical emergencies outside the stadium while people were standing there. People were just flat out passing out, Tony.
Oh, geez.
And then when they would get the medical personnel to them, they couldn't get out. They are so lucky somebody didn't die. Like, as a person, I know you've said it, and I'm agreeing with you, but as a person who witnessed it 3 different times, because my wife and I just said, we're just going to wait until the whole thing clears and then we'll go in. I've always heard, majority rules, and we live in America, so the majority rules and all that jazz, right, Tony? But we don't live in an oligarchy or anything like that. And last time I checked, not doing well by, call it 107,000 people, or 97,000 people for those extra 4,000 or 5,000 people is not right. It's unhealthy. It's scary. And I agree with what you said earlier. That's actually one of the reasons I was going to call in earlier today, was what you said. There's no way those 5,000 people have such a nose up in the air mentality that they don't care about the 97,000 that are right outside with them.
It makes no
sense to me.
They're
probably tailgating with those people.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me. It's not who we are.
It's insanity.
It's not who they are.
It's insanity.
And it's not who we are. And if you were to tell them, hey, we're creating a bottleneck situation over here so that you, like C said, C told me last night, he's like, it's almost embarrassing that I walk through my gate when I'm looking down and I'm looking at the big, huge, what's going on down there.
The kerfuffle.
Yeah, and it's all walled off. I mean, this is not what it's supposed to be.
Those people don't want to feel like. Well, one of the reasons we do it, as you've said before, is community.
Of course,
those people want to feel like normal people.
Of course,
I know that sounds wild, but they want to feel like normal people.
It might work if you're dealing with a basketball situation where you have 15,000 people, and some might have their own gate to go in where they don't have to interact or go through the others. But football, I don't think you can do that.
But Brian, why are you fixing something that's not broke? That's my point.
Well, they created the problem. There it is, Tony. The first problem, Tony, was the electric tickets. The electronic ticket only thing. The reason they did that is so they can track your every movement and track your tickets and see what you're doing with them.
They can take them from
Not that you can't be scalping them. That's exactly why they did that.
Because they want to be scalping your tickets, not you scalping your
tickets.
That's exactly right.
Not that they would do anything like that, Tony. They would never. Danny would never tell somebody that he's selling to a third party.
No.
And say that we're not filling our actual season ticket allotment. That would never happen, right?
I mean,
and then the second problem is once they went to the electronic tickets, it was a cluster for the first year of that. It took hours to get in the game for that. No joke. It took me and my wife over an hour once to get in the game because we got to the ticket gate and our ticket didn't scan in. So we had to go back and get paper tickets, ironically. Okay. And then they create this premium thing. It was okay. I'll use the word okay last year. It was okay. But then they've put on this extra layer of security. Tony, a fence row runs for their game day fencing, runs straight up to our tailgate. One of the medical emergencies I saw, Tony, was a young man kicked down the gate and broke his ankle when it fell on him. Like, it was like nothing. It was mob mentality like nothing I've ever seen. And changing a damn band route is not going to get it done. That's not going to do anything because those people have marched through an hour before any of us are going to leave our tailgates. As you said, community, right? We're going to tie one on. We're going to have a good time before a game, and we're all going to go in about 30 minutes before kickoff. It just makes no sense. It's creating danger. How about two gates? Let's just assume there's 5,000 people. You get 2 premium gates, not 5. It's insane. And nobody's going to go to gate 9. It's too far from all the tailgates. It's even far from G10 theoretically. So if you're coming from the Circle Park where most people hang out or somewhere an S9 across, you're either going in gate 21 or you're going in gate 14. It's been that way for a million years and will always be that way. So they should have expanded gate 14. That's just my thoughts. Have a good one.
It is wild. And to my friend in Muletown, it looks to me like January 20th is my information on when spring semester starts. So you're going to have your daughter for another 8 days. And Tennessee's still in that spot like Matt was talking about, that sweet. So they go to January 2nd to the 11th. They will still be, and they do still have a winter mini term, which is January 6th to the 16th, which is what I was talking about. And that winter mini term, I understand, generates a lot of money for them. And if I was a student, I would jump all over that winter mini term, okay? Because that's easy credits. Easy credits. Get in, get out. Get something out of the way.
Yeah. And in addition to it's starting, whenever it does, the ad drop date will be like 7 to 10 days after that. And
right.
Since we're talking about athletes and that would obviously factor in there too, where you could add somebody in theory about a week after school actually starts.
Like almost like a 2-week window is what it used to be. Yeah. I'll have to look into that.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, but you're right. And so not only do you have the 20th, but maybe you can go to like February 4 or February 2 with it or whatever it is. But hello and welcome in. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, you can also, I think they can do these online classes or whatever. Like the kid who was playing in Israel for that thing, he didn't get here until like last week, and the class has been going for like a month. So they can finagle this. If there's somebody in the portal they want it doesn't want to decide until February or whatever, they can throw them in there and make it work.
Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, this is B Squared in Memphis.
Hey, welcome in.
I've been trying to call you a few times this week, but I guess you got thousands and thousands of people calling in, actually, besides just listening to you. I was going to call and talk about the crowd as well. We always tailgate up in the Circle Park in those tents up there, and our tickets are on the east side in the upper deck, so we normally go up the ramp by G10, and we kind of just, I guess, south of Peyton Manning Pass, there's like parking lots you can kind of usually walk across to get down to Philip Fulmer Stadium Drive. And we were walking down that way, and it was just all of a sudden the crowd just stopped. And so we're just kind of waiting because there was a lot of people. Well, then everybody started coming back up the hill towards us. So at that point, we turned and went down kind of past Peyton Manning Pass to where that parking lot is right next to that, and got to Philip Fulmer Way, and we're heading back south on Philip Fulmer Way. And I just want to emphasize, it wasn't just people like standing in line. Like, it was a complete bottleneck, like what you would think of like a soccer game, of people being like smushed together. That's what it was like. Like, I don't know. It was, I've been going to games for over 40 years and I've never seen anything like that.
That's what you're describing is kind of scary. Yes.
It was very scary.
Yeah.
It was very scary. My dad's 82, so he goes into the game a lot earlier than us, but that's what entered my mind. If like he had been with us at that point, I mean, it would have been, it was scary even for me, really, but for, somebody elderly like that, like, could have been really dangerous because I don't know how anybody would have been able to get to you if anything happened to you.
And somebody with a health issue or underlying health issue or whatever, boy, that's scary stuff, man. So you say that as you're making your way down, as you were making your way down, the crowd was making its way up, which led you to believe, hey, we have an issue here.
Well, it was just everybody going the opposite ways, which is normally the case, but there's always room to still be able to finagle your way and walk, but you're in complete, like, shoulder to shoulder, chest to back, and people going both ways, and there wasn't a lot of pushing, but I mean, I had to say to a lady, like, hey, like, there's nobody's moving. You can't keep walking to the back of us. Like, we're not moving.
Oh, wow. So you had people behind you.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And then apparently I heard somebody else say that they had left the gates out there. My son, and my nephew, they were in the student section, and they said when they came out, like, I don't know exactly where they came out, but there was one of those barricades that was like blocking this whole crowd of people. And like, basically that whole crowd of people shoved that, barricade down, like to get through. Like, I don't know exactly where they were when they came out, but I don't know. I was totally shocked. And another thing I want to say is, like, yeah, it's a big game and people are waiting, but I mean, the stadium capacity is, used to be more.
Well, obviously, and what they're selling us is that this new thing they've done with the band is the reason. I don't buy that. Do you?
I do not.
No. Here's the reason. When I take several gates that people used to walk through and I restrict flow now because I'm trying to give them a quote-unquote premium experience, and as C said, which is very illuminating, the premium experience entails them popping out right in the middle of the general public. What are we doing? Exactly what are you? That's the value. And I would say to anybody listening to me that those people that are premium ticket holders, if they looked over there and saw you getting smushed like a sardine, would say, come over here and walk through our gate, because that's who we are. That's who we are as a people. I really believe that. I don't think those people want that experience at the expense of jamming everybody together like sardines, like they did the other day. And I hope they solve it, because they're going to get another shot at it when the Oklahoma game happens. That's going to be the real test.
Oh, they're going to have to, or something bad eventually will really happen.
Well, and then all these shiny buildings, that stuff's not going to matter if that goes on.
Can I touch on one other thing, changing the subject? I know y'all have already talked about this, but I was with my 14-year-old son and my dad at the game, and I guess like right before we took the kick, I just kind of said to my dad, I was like, man, this has been a hell of a game so far. And my son took it as me being cocky. He's like, Dad, don't be cocky. I'm not being cocky. I'm not saying we're going to win. I'm just saying this has been an awesome game. I'm appreciative of the game. And then of course, we missed the kick and we lost in overtime. And I had another thing too. I don't want to go into this, but leaving the stadium, my dad got a parking pass this year on parking garage on Lake Avenue, and we sat in the parking garage in my truck for 2 hours before we were able to start moving.
I've had other people tell me that. I've had people tell me they've never seen leaving traffic, even games that have ended, like overtime games back in the day, and that was an overtime game, obviously, but even the craziest of games. I think if Tennessee would have won, nobody would have had issues, because I think 35 or 40,000 people would have stayed. and the people that wanted to get out of there could have gotten out of there. I think that was a perfect storm. But the getting in thing,
and there's that many people leaving all at the same time.
Yeah, it's not going to
happen.
happen. Our infrastructure is not made for that.
But I know y'all have already touched on this, but I really was kind of thinking about it, and I really thought this was probably the most heartbreaking loss that I've been to. And I've talked to some other friends of mine, being in Memphis, somebody mentioned, the Memphis 96 game, that was more heartbreaking to them. And I was at the Notre Dame 90 game when thought we were going to come back and win, and painful. The Alabama 90 game, with the field goal getting blocked. I was at the Oklahoma 15 game. I even think like the Florida 2000 game when Jabbar Gaffney, they awarded him that touchdown. But I just feel like with this, like being that many years of not beating them, and then really during the game, really like having the feeling like, man,
we belong.
This isn't like a 1 year thing. Like I feel like we're back in where we're supposed to be, and you just felt like it was going to happen.
Yep.
And then just right there, it snatched away from you.
And Georgia, like Matt was saying the other day and wrote in his blog, Georgia does it to a lot of teams. There are a lot of teams in this league. There have been playoff teams that felt like they had Georgia beat, and Georgia figures out a way with this guy to get up off the deck. Hey, the 14-point deficit that they faced in the first quarter, a lot of teams would have wilted. Not those guys. They just keep right on plugging. It's like they don't even look at the scoreboard. I don't know how this guy does that. And they exploited some weak points in our offensive line, and we didn't exploit ours on theirs enough. And they won the game. And I don't blame that kicker, by the way. I don't, because it shouldn't have come to that. I don't blame the kicker. I mean, he's got to make the kick, but that's just that game. Like you told your son, was a classic college football game. And it's why we love the sport so much.
Yeah, and that's what's going to make you appreciate the one that we do win.
Sure, absolutely.
It was very similar to the Alabama game, 3 years ago.
Sure.
You think about it, if the same thing would have happened in that Alabama game that happened Saturday, we'd probably be even more heartbroken because it's Alabama, but it would have been the same feeling.
Well, and I appreciate your call. Thank you. And I appreciate you sharing your sentiments and your story with us. And I'm glad that, nobody around you faced anything terrible. Here's a thought for you guys, for the panel. I think one of the reasons why the game is so painful, and I've thought about that this week, if you win that game, you are the favorite in this league right now. We know what the game meant.
You're possibly favored to win every game after it.
It's crazy.
Possibly.
No, you're right, Bri. You could have. I don't know that you'd have been favored with Alabama. You weren't going to be favored at Alabama. But, Bri, you could have talked yourself into we're going to win every game after this. You could have. Because you've proven you could do it. And
you can still talk yourself into an 11-1, even at that.
More power to you. I'm not, but more power to you if that's what you're doing. I'll tell you this. If you prove, Matt, you can win a game like that, all of a sudden it totally elevates your program. If you win that game, you're seen in a completely different light. And college football has always been a sport of perception, always, from time immemorial. There are certain games when you win them, all of a sudden you're in a different class. Hey, 2022, when Tennessee beat Alabama, you're seen in a different light, whether that's fair or not, whether that's right or not, whether that's just or not. You win one of those games, and all of a sudden you wake up in a different reality. So, anybody have any thoughts on that? I think that's why the game hurts so bad, because you could have won, and you should have won.
And it's been almost 10 years since they beat that team. So,
well, you guys were talking amongst yourselves, because I think Alabama's going to get Georgia, because I think Alabama's going to exploit their tackle play, and they're going to beat them, because Georgia has porous tackle play. And I think they're going to design something, and they're going to beat those. Kind of like the Alabama team a couple of years ago had porous tackle play. And Alabama in the Florida State game looked like they had porous offensive line play. But what were you guys telling me the last time they've lost a game there, guys? Who was it and when was it?
South Carolina in overtime.
I mean, that's ridiculous. You haven't lost a home game in 6 years?
And, they haven't lost a home game in regulation in longer than that.
Hey, Matt, do you have a
think about
thought on our yesterday we threw some quarterback rankings up in the league. This year is so good quarterbacking-wise that 10 could be 1 and 1 could be 10. Do you agree with that, Matt, when you look at the through 3 games now? Obviously, it's a small sample size. But the quarterback play is really good in this league right now.
Yeah, it's really deep.
Yes.
Just kind of like the overall teams. And, yeah, you can go 1 through, 10, 12, and there's not a huge drop-off. I think it's interesting. I saw a stat, I think it was yesterday, that only 4 SEC teams are averaging less than 30 points a game. And obviously, the schedule matters in that. But the quarterbacks for those 4 teams, it was like Arch Manning, Lenore Sellers, DJ Lagway, and Garrett Nussmeier, who a lot of people would have said might have been the 4 best quarterbacks in the league. And they're the lowest scoring offenses right now. It's the elite quarterbacks, or the perceived elite quarterbacks, really struggling and really in all cases taking a step back.
And then you add to that,
everybody else kind of elevating is really fascinating.
It's weird. Add to that, the kid from Clemson's really struggling, who we all thought coming into this year was going to be phenomenal. Now they haven't surrounded him with a running game, and that's kind of hurt them. But he's struggling. The kid from Penn State, they've been getting on him, Matt. He's kind of struggling. I mean, it is a strange first 3 weeks in major college football. Strange. And C and I were talking the other night, and we're like trying to list these guys and how you distinguish one from the other at the top of this league. I would speak to that. I mean, it's very difficult. Very difficult.
Yeah. I mean, even like Taylon Green, I can't remember where you ended up putting him on the list, but I mean, Taylon Green, I think could argue could be made. He's second or third. I mean, yeah. I think he has the highest QBR in the league, and he's been very impressive. Even with that terrible defense, they've beaten some teams badly that have been able to move the ball against them. And then in that Ole Miss game, they got in a shootout, and he functioned pretty well. He's been really, really impressive, and the numbers are really good. But I mean, I think you could make an argument he's second or third, or down at 7th or 8th. And I don't think that there's just so little difference between those guys who are, anywhere between 1 and 8 or 9. Even it's kind of like, just what do you prefer? Pavia has been about as good as anybody could expect. You could put him. I wouldn't be opposed to putting him in the top 2 or 3 either.
Totally
but
agree.
Obviously, there's some guys who maybe throw the ball better than him. So there's no difference, I don't think, through 3 weeks here.
And to Matt's point, the guys that you thought that were getting all the hype. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. Arch Manning was a favorite to win the Heisman, wasn't he? Beginning of the year, one of the 3 guys.
Yeah, Nussmeier and Manning and
who else?
Aller. And Lagway were, I think, the top 4 in the preseason.
I mean, you cannot make this up. Those guys, you couldn't. Well, the Nussmeier guy maybe, and that's simply because his team's winning is why he hangs around. But guy, he sucked on 9 continents so far. Are you kidding me? This is so fun. Go Joey football, go. Go Joey football.
How they use him, it's weird.
It is. You're right, Matt. They're asking.
Like last year, he was kind of that gunslinger that would throw in the tight windows and have big plays for both teams with the interceptions. This year, he's much more of a game manager. They do so much stuff pre-snap. Like he looks like Peyton Manning out there trying to get everybody lined up. It's really strange how much they put on him. But if it clicks for him, then LSU's dangerous. But it's weird. It's like he's a totally different quarterback.
I will say this: Nussmeier, there are some rumblings that he's got a somewhat severe injury that they're hiding. I've heard
that would make sense then to what Matt's talking about, because they're not letting him freewheel.
The rib thing, the rib injury or whatever it was.
No, I think he may have against Clemson. It sounds like he may have injured his oblique on his throwing shoulder.
And by the way, the Lagway guy. I mean, Mark Ingram was saying yesterday these guys have 0 NIL. I disagree with that. Pepperidge Farm would give him a multi-million-dollar deal for their apple turnovers if he keeps this up. You think that cookie company here in town? They got nothing on that guy. That guy's the apple turnover king.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott, for hundreds in our area. Custom homes or remodels. Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Ready by 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, Great Plains, New York.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted grade A grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Fall officially begins this month, so now is the perfect time to make sure your home's HVAC system is ready for the season ahead. Don't ignore the warning signs that your heating or cooling system is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need fast, reliable HVAC repairs, seasonal preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new high-efficiency system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Whatever HVAC problems you encounter, our certified technicians will make a full assessment and then provide the best long-term solution to keep your home comfortable again all year long. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we're the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our trials last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Tony B here with the great Zakai Ziegler for
Hey, whoa. Tony, I got this. Hey, Tennessee, it's Easy here. Next time you have an electric issue at your home or business, call my friends at Advent Electric. With offices in Knoxville and Nashville, it's Mama's Easy approved.
You heard it from the most electrifying player in the league. Call the service professionals at Advent Electric, 865-588-0631. Online, adventelectric.com. Tell them ZZ sent you. Tony B back with you, 865-200-5402. It's a Thursday. I got C in the house along with TGMD. Brian and yours truly. We'll go back to our TLD Logistics phone lines. We are cooking and booking today and rolling. Tomorrow we're live at Calhoun's on the River. I'll be out there. And then the great Dubsy Smith will be out there from 3 to 6 as well. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony B. It's TC in Athens.
Hey, brother. Good to talk to you.
Thanks, man. Brother, I got to be honest, man. This one, I've kind of gotten to where games don't bother me that much. The loss. I mean, obviously, I want to win every one of them, but the losses haven't been as huge to me, because of the time I get to spend with my daughter and friends at these games, and just that sense of community that we've talked about a lot of times. But bro, I got to be honest with you. This one absolutely ticked me off. I was so angry after this loss. And, for the most part, I'm in a text thread with a bunch of Georgia fans I play golf with all the time. And for the most part, every one of them were just like, wow, incredible game. You all deserve that one. We escaped, all that. But, boy, there were a couple that wanted to talk crap, I'll say, and I was in no mood for it, and certainly let them know I was in no mood for it. And that one just hurt, man. It was like the 01 SEC championship game, the Oklahoma game, the 2001 Georgia game. Those were ones that just last, and this one will last.
I call them Vol scars, man. I mean, there are certain losses in that sport. You don't get them in basketball because hey, I'll get you back. You don't get them in baseball because I can get you back. Something about the football deal where those things really leave a mark on you, especially when you outplay somebody like that.
I mean, I know everybody says bottom line is we did everything we had to do to win that game except put a kick through the upright, period. And it was right there.
Sure.
So anyway, hey, I did send you. I tweeted you a couple of pictures right outside of the stadium, literally 30 minutes before game time.
Oh, I'll look at those. Okay.
Yeah, I tweeted a couple days ago, I think, because it will blow your mind when you see it for yourself. And the picture was taken at 3:01 p.m. and it is a miracle. And what I don't understand, a couple things it just blows my mind. I don't get it. They still had, and people have talked about it, they still had these barriers up and these gates up after the game, trying to herd massive amounts of people through these small areas with these gates and these barriers after the game. Made zero sense. Get that crap out of there and let us leave.
And Matt's right. After a close loss like that, where your emotions are on edge, that's a great point, Matt, you bring up. They are very fortunate there wasn't pushing, shoving, because inevitably in a crowd, you're going to have people that are going, this Heupel guy sucks. He's never going to win. You know what I mean? And people behind people walking are like, look, I don't want to listen to that. Or you're going to have Georgia fans barking at you. Look, I don't want to listen to that. And when you're all in close quarters like that, that's asking for an incident versus, hey, we can disperse and spread out, which is what we've done in years past. It sounds to me like they're very, 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 very fortunate that somebody didn't get hurt the other night. Like really hurt.
It's an absolute miracle.
Yes.
And the other thing that just makes zero sense. So we got moved this year. I loved where I used to park at White Avenue Parking Garage.
Right.
Man, phenomenal place. I could get out of there in 10 minutes and be on the interstate and gone.
Right.
Now, I've gotten moved because I guess all the stuff they're doing at G10, I guess. And we got moved to, it's called G7. It's down by Allen Jones Aquatic Center. So instead of us being able to just get right there on Neyland Drive and hit either Kingston Pike or the interstate, for some reason, now they funnel everyone from that garage all the way back to Thompson Bowling Arena. And to get on Neyland Drive. So we sat in that garage, Tony. I'm not kidding. We stayed with my mom in Hardin Valley that night. Take a guess at what time I pulled into our house, and I went straight there.
Let's see. The game ended around what? 7:15 Eastern, something like that. Yeah. You got there probably about 10 o'clock.
11:15.
What? 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 What?
And we literally went straight to her house, did not stop.
Hey, Matt, why don't you give your secret away? You and your dad's secret. When you want to share that with people on the air right now?
Well, it's related to where our seats are and where our parking garage is on White Avenue that's on the other side of the strip. But
yeah.
No, it's fuck. I hate that for you, TC, because, I mean, there's a lot of people who would have your experience that wouldn't go back to games.
That's my point. A friend of mine
that's what sucks. And that's even a bigger cup check. You had a potential all-time great memory that turned into just a disaster and a nightmare.
A friend of mine said he's not coming back.
For over 2.5 hours.
ATC, a friend of mine said he had the same experience. Said his daughter was getting sick, and he said, "I'm never coming back." He said, "And I love my alma mater. I love my school." He said, "As long as that AD's there, I ain't doing it." He said, "Because that's ridiculous what they did to us." And I told him, I don't know whose fault it is. The traffic thing, I don't pretend to know all that. People tell me that the UT cops have taken over from the city, and that's the problem, and they've done all this rerouting. And again, I'm back to this. Why are we reinventing the wheel? Why are we reinventing the wheel?
Well, guys, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for letting me jump on, Tony.
Hey, thank you, brother. Good talking to you. And go Vols to you. And I know what he's saying. Like, the older I've gotten, the more I appreciate the community of all this, you know? Like, that's what games are to me. We do our post-game show, and the other day I was, like, conflicted because I'm sitting there going, you know, we did so many great things. And I didn't think this team was capable of doing that. I don't think most of us did.
You know,
Hey, it sucks that we lost that game. It sucks even worse
One
that people had this experience.
One alternative to some of these parking garages is the Children's Hospital garage, which is up as far away from the stadium, but if you can walk, if you're going west, especially, it's easier. You can get out of that garage in 30 minutes and you can be gone west quickly. Now, I don't know if Saturday would have made a difference, but that's where I parked before.
Yeah,
just to not be so close to the stadium, and you have to walk a ways, but
yeah, my strategy's always been to walk.
Traffic.
My strategy's always been to walk away from the traffic and get on the periphery, whether it's on the other side of the fort or wherever you can go. That's always been my strategy. But let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on a Thursday edition. Hi.
Tony, they're much better than TC in Athens. That dude is just met him in person a couple times. Just the best dude on earth, man.
He's solid
Just love
gold.
That guy.
He was with us. He was with us one night at a gig, and our singer kind of had issues. He came up and sung songs and saved the gig for us. My boy TC can sing. He can sing it. He can sing it.
Yep. He flat out has pipes for days. Wanted to throw a little Georgia-Alabama game, maybe help some people out there on my take on that game. Nick Saban and Kirby Smart aren't coaching defense at Alabama anymore. I'll start with that. That defensive staff's nothing special down there. And then to play with Georgia or to threaten Georgia, you need to have you a 6'5" wide receiver that when Georgia goes one-on-one, which they ultimately will, that's who Kirby is. He's eventually going to say, I'm going to dare your guy to beat my guy. You got to have that guy to attack to attack Kirby, and Alabama don't have that. They got Ryan Williams, who's 5'11", 135 pounds, they might throw up some balls to, like he caught one to win the game last year in Tuscaloosa. But I would lean Georgia pretty heavily in that game because the matchups looked like they're Georgia's favorite. Oh, and Bama can't run the football at all. Bama can't run the ball, and if you can't run the ball against Kirby, good luck.
Yeah, I think Alabama's going to win the game, but I hear what you're saying.
No, I know you're big on Alabama, and so are most of the models out there. Most of the models still have Alabama as would be favored over everybody but like 3 teams on a neutral field,
which is wild. Yep.
I think that's a bad matchup, and I think in Athens it's a bad matchup, and I don't think Nick's in Alabama anymore.
They don't. Hey, listen, you guys are right. I mean, Georgia doesn't lose on their field, so there is that.
Yep. And we're in. I think we're all guilty of being in a 17-year window of the dude whose dad never loved him still being the coach. And we're also trained that number on the side of the helmet means that, everybody's afraid of him. And I don't think anybody is anymore.
What do you guys think? Is Alabama diminished, Matt, in your opinion?
Yeah, it's post Saban. They obviously are. Obviously not. They're not as bad as the Florida State thing. That was just a disaster, but it'll be a tough task for them to go down to Athens and win.
Do they make
really tough?
Matt,
they have a lot of holes.
Do they make a playoff, Matt?
They have to win. I think they have to win in Athens to do it. So right now I would say no. I think if they lose in Georgia, they're headed for another 9-3 season.
What would their other loss be in your mind?
I think is LSU. I think LSU's at home. LSU potentially. They play Oklahoma. I just think that they'd lose one of those games just because of how balanced the league is. And you play a
Missouri.
game. Missouri's a trap game.
At Missouri's a good one. Auburn at the end of the year.
Yep.
I wouldn't sleep
They're
on that.
losing
I don't think
somewhere.
people
They're
are
losing
afraid
2 more somewhere
of Bama coming into their building. I think going to Tuscaloosa is still an issue, but they're a good home team. They haven't lost there yet under this coach, but on the road, it's not the same.
Pretty good point, guys.
they're losing 2 more games this year at least between LSU, Georgia, Oklahoma, Auburn, Missouri, and Tennessee. That's 6 ball games.
It's a hell of a
They're
schedule.
not going 5-1 in those.
That's a hell of a schedule.
You know, Georgia, since Kirby Smart's first season there, they've lost 1 game in their building. And they lost that game in overtime. They haven't lost a regulation home game since 2016.
That's offensive, man.
Under Kirby Smart.
That's offensive. That offends me.
Oh, Alabama has to play Diego Pavia, who isn't scared of them. I know it's in Tuscaloosa, and I know they're freaking Vandy. And he also has to go play at Lenore Sellers, assuming he gets healthy, and that isn't a gimme.
No question. The league is crazy, Rusty, how these teams are laying one on top of the other.
Hey, but don't tell anybody. Oregon, Penn State, and Ohio State are far, far superior to everybody
what
else.
A joke.
Just everybody knows.
You have to live out there among those people, too. And I bet they think USC's got something.
My neighbor across the street, sweetest guy ever. Love him, love his kids. Just great. We cut up all the time. He's a USC guy, has a flag on the front of his house like I have the Tennessee flag on mine. And he thinks they suck. He's like, I'm not buying it yet.
I can imagine not believing in that coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Hey, but Cowherd and Josh Pate were on their podcast yesterday, and they both are like bought into SC completely. They think they feel like SC can make the playoff out of the Big Ten this year. Which, hey, maybe they do. Who knows?
Wow.
Anyway,
the big market
all right,
guys.
Boys, love y'all.
Yeah, good talking to you. The big market guys always get sold out on the USCs of the world. Who, by the way, they're not bad. I mean, they've got a Polynesian quarterback that can play, if you can imagine that. As we take a brief timeout and come back on the other side, it'll be TLD Logistics Overdrive overtime time or close to that. So if you want to load the phone lines up at 865-200-5402. Over on Fan Run, it's the playbook with the incomparable William Pattison.
Yeehaw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.